Good Will Hunting is a film about MIT's most brilliant student, the 20-year-old delinquent from South Boston who works as a janitor on campus. After assaulting a police officer, Will's last hope before jail is a head math professor at the university named Lambeau and a community college professor named John. From Lambeau, Will learns the fundamentals behind advanced mathematics and comes to understand the full scope of his intelligence. From Sean, Will learns how to confront his past and save himself from his self-destructive tendencies, while coming to understand that he deserves better than the life he's currently living. The central themes in this film is the role of intelligence. Each character in the film has a different idea of what intelligence is, and each character embodies a different level of intelligence. In the scene I will be analyzing, Sean both confronts Will about his perceived intelligence and teaches him that knowledge is so much more than memorization and the understanding of complex ideas. This scene proves against the idea that intelligence is about how much information a person can retain and understand. It's interesting because Sean, without meaning to, is calling Will out on his contradictory views of intellect. In a previous scene, Will confronts the Harvard student in a bar for regurgitating stuff he's read in books and learned in classes, without forming any ideas of his own. In this scene, Sean is giving Will an incredibly similar speech. Will acts as though he has some great understanding of life and topics he's read about, but he has little real life experience in anything. Throughout the film, Sean maintains the idea that intelligence is more than simply being good at a subject or being able to understand and perform complex concepts. Will inherently believes this as well, and this idea of intelligence as something more is one of the main conflicts in the film.
Want what you want. There's more to life than a fucking Fields medal.
On the other hand, Professor Lambeau has a very black and white perspective on intellect. He believes a person's intelligence is measured by their ability to excel at a subject or subjects, and subsequently believes a person is wasting their life and potential if they do not act on their excellence. These beliefs make him think that Sean is wasting his time and potential teaching at a community college, and he fights with him because he thinks that if they do not push Will, he will end up the same. Sean and Will both disagree with this viewpoint, but for different reasons. Will, because he does not want something more and is happy living the simple life he's always expected. Sean, because he believes intelligence is equal parts knowledge and experience. In the scene, Sean ridicules Will because Will acts tougher and cooler and smarter than everyone else, when in reality he's bound by his life of inexperience. He can understand advanced mathematics, but he'll never understand love and mourn pain unless he's actually lived through it. Sean believes in the abstracts of intelligence, the experience of it, and he uses the speech to bring Will down a notch and sort of tell him, you can't know everything just because you've read it in a book and you understand the fundamentals of it. Sean is trying to show Will that his preconceived notions about life and other people are insignificant unless he understands real life experience. Earlier, Will saw a painting Sean did of a man in a boat, and he attempted to analyze it, but he completely misunderstood it. Sean's been through war, he's been through 20 years of love, and he's been through his wife's cancer and death. But Will doesn't know about Sean's past, and he doesn't truly understand anything Sean's been through. So when he tries to sort of outsmart him and use literature and art to explain Sean's life away, he fails. And he fails because intelligence is never ever just about knowledge and understanding. There has to be a level of experience involved. I think that part of the appeal of this film, and the main way that I relate to the film, is through Will and I's similar academic experiences, and I believe we have a shared feeling of contempt when it comes to intelligence. Like Will, I've grown up being praised for my academic excellence and constantly reminded of my potential. My whole life has been pointed in one clear, non negotiable outcome: university. And while I don't resent this, it's just that I've never had any other options. Will's increasing frustration over everybody suddenly being unable to talk about anything other than his potential felt really familiar to me. The scene where Chucky tells Will that if he's still laying brick and hanging out with him in South Boston in 50 years, he'll kill him, really resonated with me because Will doesn't see that life as something negative and disreputable, but Chucky, along with everyone else, sees it as a waste. I think that scene was really disheartening because it made me really step back for a second and realize, wait, I'm on Will's side because I am Will. Because there's never been any question about it. I'll go to university and I'll get a respectable degree, and then I'm free to do whatever I like. And with university applications happening right now, I'm more at peace with this fact, but in reality, I don't see university as my be all and end all outcome. I'm a competitive dancer, and I can easily imagine a lifetime of dance. I'm a total movie person, and I can envision myself writing and directing films. I can cook, I can bake, I'm a half decent drummer, I have other options. But like Will, I would be wasting my potential if I do not go to university. And don't get me wrong, I love school and I genuinely want to go to university. But sometimes I feel like the desire isn't worth as much when it's the only option I've ever been given. In many ways, sometimes I wish I could metaphorically light the page of equations on fire and walk away, get my college diploma in fashion, and dance for the rest of my life. But in the end, when Will accepts Lambeau's prestigious job and comes to understand that he can do something more, and more importantly, he deserves something more, I felt like this will eventually be me. I'll get my fancy degree in political science, and I'll love university, and like Will, I will come of age both in my real life and my academia.